Welcome to Quick Stop F1. Oh gosh, I'm back. Oh God, what a weekend for some of us. Welcome to Quick Stop F1. My name is Nyasha and you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We appreciate that as we look at the news coming out of Cadillac that they have confirmed their driver pairing. Finally, they've confirmed their driver pairing, and their driver pairing is Sergio Perez and Valtteri Bottas. Wowee! It's almost like we knew what they were going to do. We knew what was going to happen, and they tried to tease, man, for months. They said, oh, are we going to get Mick Schumacher? Oh, are we going to get Felipe Drugovich? Oh, are we going to get... Oh, my God. We're going to get a driver from America because we're an American team. They did none of that shit. New team, same old shit in F1. Let's get some tried and tested. I don't know how to describe these two drivers, but it's so uninspiring. But uninspiring is what they need. Uninspiring is what Cadillac need right now in F1. When you're a new team coming into F1, you need to be able to depend upon drivers who will not put it in the wall. And obviously we'll get to Sergio Perez in that case. You need drivers who are able to feed back to you on the strength of the car and you know, where to improve and all of those different things. You need drivers with marketability to help you attract sponsors. You need, all different kinds of things. I'm trying to think, what else do you need when you're a new team? Dependability, marketability, consistentability, if that's a thing. I mean, that's really it. So I think with these two drivers, if you're talking about the two drivers who are available to come into your car right now, you're a new team and you can hire two new drivers and they both have to be available to come into the team straight away, then there you go. Valtteri Bottas, Sergio Perez. What more could you want? However, God, this is uninspiring. Uninspiring as fuck. Let me go through the comments. Hi, Palm Tree. How's it going? Thank you guys for saying something. If you're watching, please like the video. If you could, I said there's 0 likes in this video. So if you are watching the video, please like the video, get it sped out. And thank you guys for commenting. Palm Tree P, how's it going? Salute to you. Thank you, Rainy, for dropping a like. It's a good choice. They need experience at the moment. Thank you very much. You're right. Okay, you're right. Let's get this shit. Let's get this shit fucking... no doubt, this is the right choice. The thing is, right? The thing is with this, it's almost like it is the right choice, but is it the right choice, right? So a lot of people today have obviously brought up Sergio Perez's uninspiring end to his 2024 F1 season, last year. 2024 F1 season, uninspiring from Sergio Perez. He failed to make it into Q1 multiple times. Q2 multiple times. He failed to get into the points multiple times. It was genuinely like a very painful experience watching Sergio Perez at Red Bull. And like you say, Rainy, like it could be, look, we don't know. We don't know with Red Bull. I think I said to someone on Twitter earlier today, I put a tweet out and I said, I think Sergio Perez wipes the floor with Valtteri Bottas. And, you know, I think some people have disagreed with that, and that's fine. I think wipes the floor is maybe a bit strong. Maybe I am taking the piss a little bit there. But what I will say is that I do think that history will look back on Sergio Perez kinder than they did look at him at the time. Right? In that, obviously, compared to Max Verstappen, he was never going to be anything, right? And he was never going to be on piss. But I think we saw from 2021 to 2024, over those, 4 seasons, what we saw is Sergio get further and further away from Max, the worse and worse and worse that car got. And it's quite clear that the tools that Sergio Perez were getting are tools that clearly anyone who gets into that car is going to struggle with. I don't think there's a driver on this planet that's going to be able to handle someone's at my motherfucking door. Give me 2 seconds. I can't believe this shit, bro. Jesus Christ, thank you guys for staying on. Right, I can't even remember what I was saying, but essentially, what I'm trying to say is that I think history will be kind to Sergio Perez. I think history will be kind, and I think that what we've seen with Yuki, what we've seen with Liam, what we've seen obviously as well, he's then another cog in the gears of failure, where you can add Pierre Gasly and Alex Albon. And I just think, Jordan, you're right. It is a mid-off. 2 cheeks of the same glorious arse. It's probably not even a glorious arse. Like, do you know what I mean? It's 2 cheeks of like a not nice arse. You know? 2 cheeks of a builder's arse. You know when you go past the building site and there's like a builder and he's bending over building something, you know, and you can see like the crack of his arse. That's the 2 cheeks of the same arse that we're currently looking at right now with these 2. But if we're talking about which cheek is better, I think people immediately, I think there's a lot of recency bias with Sergio Perez. And yes, Sergio Perez and Valtteri Bottas have both been in championship winning teams, dominant championship winning teams. And you'd maybe say that Valtteri Bottas was definitely the more consistent of the 2 out of those 2 drivers in a championship winning team. But I think that people forget Racing Point Sergio Perez, one of the greatest midfield drivers of all time. I think people are forgetting, gosh, who else? I think they're forgetting, you know, obviously not forgetting, but everyone knows about Sergio back end of 21. Some really good results, some good driving performances. Showed a lot more heart than Bottas did towards the end of the season. Well, in the 2021 season in general. I mean, again, they were both a bit crap, really, weren't they? But I'm just saying, have you seen these tweets about cross comparisons that people said they'll start looking into? What do you make of that? I don't know what that means, Jordan. Could you give me some more information on what that means? But yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I think Sergio's got him. I think, for me, I've seen Sergio do more with less than Valtteri Bottas. And I saw Sergio Perez do more with less for a longer period of time. And if there's any man who could capitalize on doing more with less, I'm going to put my money on Sergio Perez. And I think the good thing is, like you say, Rainey, they're both locked in for a couple years. They're both there to kind of, steer that team into a position where I think they're making their own engines from 2029. So these two are going to be there 26, 27 at least. You'd imagine one of them will probably extend for a year after that. And then you'd expect one of them to probably take them into the new engine so that there's, some consistency there. So to the winner, the spoils. To the winner of this number 2 driver off, this, two cheeks of the same arse off, there is the potential for this 2-year contract to turn into a 4-year contract. We're looking at drivers like Fernando Alonso, Lewis Hamilton going on into their 40s. How old is Sergio Perez? It feels like he's so old, but I don't think he's actually old. How old is he? 35 years old. So, Sergio Perez is younger than... Oh God, I'm so old. But you would expect one of these two drivers to expect to be a key part of this team, moving them into the era where they will be racing with their own engines. And I think for both drivers, you can see why I'm sure Alpine probably did come knocking. I'm sure there may have been offers, but you would think that the opportunity to drive for such a big team and to help bring this team forward. And look, if these two do well with Cadillac and Cadillac do move forward, which you would expect them to do. And look, they've got Ferrari engines next year. These aren't, it's not as if they're coming straight off the bat with their own engines in an engine regulation. So they will have their own engines. Obviously they've got the infrastructure there. It's not beyond the realms of possibility that these guys end up, collecting points, being able to sneak the odd in crazy result here and there. So there's no reason why it can't be a situation like Haas where a new team comes in and, they find some relative success and they use their experienced driver lineup to kind of grow the team and use that consistency to develop the car. It makes sense. And then while you're doing that, you work on getting an American driver in. You work on, your departments and everything. Drivers, you do need drivers. But what they need to do is get the infrastructure right within their team. And they don't know if that's right until they put it to the test. All the money in the world can create an infrastructure. But without fully knowing what it is that works and doesn't work in practicality, then I'm afraid then, they don't really know, do they? They don't really know. Basically, we'll get quality data between Perez and Bottas and look at Bottas and Perez perform versus Max Lewis. Then you have to see how Max and Lewis would do as teammates. Fuck off. What is that about? We don't believe in them things over here, man. That's not a real thing. That's not a real thing. Trust me. We don't believe in that whatsoever. But that's what I think, guys. That's what I think. I can't see a situation where really either driver does significantly better than the other. I don't think either of them really have. The quality is the reason why I think Perez will probably do better is I think he's better on his tires. I think Valtteri is the better qualifier though. So you never know. Like I said, I think Valtteri will be potentially more consistent. But I think Sergio Perez will essentially do what he did at Racing Point, and he'll be able to get those standout performances. Maybe sneaks into the points when they shouldn't sneak into the points. Maybe on a crazy race day, Sergio Perez, in the same way he managed to do for his first race win in 2020, and manages to end up, getting on the podium, winning a race. I'm not saying they're going to win a race, but what I'm saying is I think Sergio Perez is capable of crazy race results, and we've seen him throughout his career get crazy race results. Valtteri, I don't think you can tell me straight away a really like striking driver performance from Valtteri Bottas that you're like, wow, that is a classic F1 race. So for me, that's why I do think, that'll be the case. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I think my thing is like jittering. So I'm just going to lock this off, try and fix it, and then we'll come back and double check if everything was all right. But thank you guys for locking in. Thank you for watching. I love you all. And remember, like this video if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back with more F1 stuff every day. We're leading up to the Dutch Grand Prix. I'll be here every day with content up until the Dutch Grand Prix. Notebook will be back on Friday after practice. And yeah, we'll go from there, guys. Have a lovely day. And remember, no matter what life throws at you, keep it on the black stuff. Until next time, take care. Oh, bye. It's just me standing around. Bye-bye.